From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. National Signing Day means lots of offensive linemen at Oklahoma State. Kyle Fredrickson joins us on the phone, and Kyle, 7 offensive linemen in this recruiting class has to be a high water mark for the Mike Gundy era. A lot of guys to play that position. Is this sort of a nod to the struggles that they've had on the offensive line in the last couple years?
Oh, no doubt. You know, at this point, you know, we're all kind of sounding like a broken record talking about it, but you know, this has really been kind of the one real negative point of this team that's been real talented over the past couple of years. Just being the fact that the offensive line's been inconsistent, they've been unable to run the ball very well. So no doubt, with 7 offensive line, I mean that's evidence enough how serious the Cowboys are about fixing some of those problems. And it's interesting how this group came together. You know, there's guys in this group from Minnesota, from New Mexico, from Oklahoma, from Texas, really wide-ranging. And I think that's a bit of a nod to this coaching staff to really thinking outside the box and trying to find the right guys who fit this system. And especially when you bring in a new offensive line coach like Greg Atkins, who kind of has a history in the SEC of being a great recruiter. He's really been around the country. You got a guy who really knows what he's doing and is able to use some of those connections that, you know, quite frankly, the Cowboys might not have had in years past. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how these guys pan out. A lot of really lengthy guys who played tackle in high school. But, you know, as they go through fall camp, you know, a lot of them might shift positions. And you know, Mike Gundy even said in his press conference today that he's hoping to get one center out of the group. So an interesting group of players with some varied backgrounds, but certainly a sign that the Cowboys are serious about fixing some of their long-term issues.
Well, you know, Kyle, as I look at the list, I see at least 4 guys at 6'6", so you're looking at some really tall guys, which may be telling us a little bit about what Greg Atkins wants on his offensive line. But as you look at the list of 7, who do you feel like could make an impact? Because if you look at this offense, that's really one of the big question marks going into next year. How much can this offensive line protect Mason Rudolph? How much can they open up the run game, which struggled so much this last year? Who can help among this group of offensive line commits?
Well, you know, I think about all of them when we look at them. I mean, Tremonda Moore from John Marshall is probably the most talented, but with some of his eligibility in question and being a true freshman, he's probably not the guy who's going to help them immediately. But I look at the 2 junior college guys, and Shane Richards, and as well. Sorry, I'm blanking on the name real quick here.
I think Larry Williams is the guy you're looking for.
Larry Williams, that's right, Larry Williams. So with those 2 guys, you know, those are 2 of the guys with the 6'6" size. You know, pushing 330 pounds apiece. So you figure those are 2 pieces that the Cowboys might want to insert, you know, immediately going into next season if they can win some of those position battles with every single offensive lineman returning. So in terms of hope for that next year, you know, those are the guys that OSU fans should probably look to as potential players to break into the line. But, you know, this is a coaching staff that understands the need for depth and how to develop a deeper unit, and that's just something that takes, you know, years and seasons to happen. So there's no doubt that OSU is happy with the guys they return on the offensive line, just being that they have experience. But there's certainly a need for competition to make everyone play just a little bit better if OSU is going to kind of figure out some of their problems they've had up front.
Yeah, you want to check out our Thursday Oklahoman, where Kyle looks a little bit deeper at that big offensive line get for Oklahoma State. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.